Update. I've been recently asked to be in a little bit of a video on how I started and some powder coating I've done over the years, and I'd like to go ahead and maybe address some of those things for future powder coaters or anybody hobbyist wise that would like to get into this thing. I'm here to try to help people out. I'm not here, I like money, everybody likes money, but I really get more of a, how would you say, accomplishment when I see a project done and I see the customer happy and I get to see it on their vehicle or just in their house or anything like that. So here at Humane Designs, this is not my primary gig. This is something I got into in 2017, 2016. The powder coating came a little bit later than those, maybe 2017. Airbrushing has always been my passion. I've never been good at it. Can't draw. So I'll be honest with you, I've learned how to use stencils. And then a lot of people think just a stencil is a way to go, but believe it or not, there's a lot of neat things called shields where you do true flames and stuff like that, where you're not using a stencil to make the flame. You're making it out of your own brain and you're making it shape the way you want to, but you're using the stencil for basically overspray so you can get the shapes and curves that you want. Met a guy a long time ago who did some airbrushing for me. He inspired me. Great guy. His name's Bubba Did It. And he's all over Facebook and stuff like that. I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but inspired me to actually say I got 13 vehicles of myself. And I was paying him a decent price, which was great. But I got 13 vehicles. I started doing the math. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll go ahead and try to put my own twist on it. So back in 2017, 2016, I started on my own stuff. Growing up as a kid, my brother and some of my family members used to paint cars. And that was a true staple to where I'm at now. I enjoyed doing that back in the day, but there was a lot of harsh chemicals back in the day that made me want to give up on it. I turned into an electrician by trade. Got an associate's degree through it, and that's my full-time job. So with the electrical background, I really do really well with this. Powder coating, the biggest thing is ground. If you're going to start powder coating with an Eastwood gun or anything like that, that's where I started. Started with just a regular oven out of a house and a little easy bake oven, I call them, for, you know, toaster oven. And ground. So, quick lesson. You're throwing a charge through plastic, and that's what powder is. It's a plastic. It's a dust. That's what this is. Okay? It's just dust. It's plastic. It's going to act like a shell, but it needs something to grab onto. So you want to make a profile with sand blasting or some kind of media, and then it soaks down in there. And that's how it actually sticks at the heat. But to get it to attach to the project, the little particles got to stick to it by static electricity. So you got a gun where you're throwing a charge out of it at whatever voltage you want. Now, when it comes out of here to stick onto here, this has got to be a negative. This is a positive. So imagine two magnets, a positive and a positive. They don't stick together. They force each other off. So what you have is you have a ground. The ground will dissipate any positive charges. And when I mean ground, I mean a ground rod in the ground, 2 or 3. I know these guns come with a little ground strap, which is great. As long as you know exactly what you're doing and your metal's exactly the same consistency, this is great for tinfoil all day long. It'll work, but you can still overcharge it, over positive charge it. So that's where the extra ground in the ground comes in. You walk away from your project, let the positive charges flow through it. Earth is a huge conductor, and it'll take away positive charges. So that's my biggest tip. But back to me, Humane Designs. I'm here to help you out. I'm not here to make like billions of dollars. It'd be nice. But I still, like I said, I'm just out of my garage, just starting little things for myself, started helping car guys out. Next thing I know, their projects turned into my projects turned into theirs. We started swapping work. And every time I actually made money, I spent it. You can see in the background. I'm a big Columbia Coatings guy because by far they will contact you. They will help you in any way they can. And yeah, they're pricey. Yeah, you can get up to $2 grand, $3 grand, $4 grand and some of their stuff, and you can go, the sky's the limit. Get ovens, 10 grand. I started off with a $70 little oven. I started off with a $100 little gun. Now I'm up to a $2,005 unit. I'm up to fluidizers, hoppers, And I still, believe it or not, my go-to every day. Every day. I can fluff it, I can watch it, I can adjust. Now, once you start going into the big high-end guns that are 10 grand, 8 grand, 5 grand, suppose they do it for you. And they're for assembly lines, if you ask me. I'm not an assembly line. I'm a guy that likes to help people out. Do some rims, do some intakes. By all means, you can buy anything you want to. Cross C's, you can buy anything you want. This company right here, like I said, I'm not here to promote them, but they treated me well over the years. Great. So, long story short, there's a lot of things to learn about powder coating, about explosions, about arcing and sparking, and I've had to learn it all over the years, and I still am learning every day. So that's pretty much my backstory here at Humane Designs. If you have an idea and you want it to come to life and you don't want to do it, contact me. I'll help you out. If you want to contact me and ask me some questions and you want to do it yourself, by all means, I will try to help you, but I'm not going to come to your house and do it for you. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that this helps you out a little bit. Please ask any questions you have about powder coating. Hit me up at Humane Designs or Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Like my page, look it over, ask any questions you would like. The only thing I ask is if you have any negative comments, personal message me. And me and you can talk it out, and you can tell me. I've had people hit me up and say, dude, you're going to blow yourself up with the electric fans. I thank that guy. I thank him. That's not negative. I went out and got a separate motor and a separate system for that. So my top 10 things, if you're going to ask me powder coating wise, gloves, keep your fingers off of it. Ground, ground, ground. I also found these. Instead of always trying to pick things up out of your hot oven with welding gloves or hot cooking gloves, you can do this. Watch. Clamp it on there and you can pick it up. And it's cold. This is still probably 300 degrees right now. And this is where I started, cups. By all means, if you want to start playing with things, play with cups. You can get them about 10 bucks. Sometimes you can get them in packages for a lot cheaper. I'm working on these today for a Christmas client. I don't do too many cups anymore, but come Christmas time, I love helping people out. I love doing that last minute gift thing. So I don't want to ramble on too much more. Like I said, this is just a couple things that I'm just going to tell you that are handy. Acetone is great for wiping some things down and stuff like that, but you don't want to get acetone nowhere near powder coat after it's done. It will bleed, it will melt it, it will just destroy it. So I'm going to go run through my steps real quick, and there's going to probably be a lot of comments. There's 1,000 different ways to do things. This is how I do it. I get your part. If it's a rim, I take your tire off, and I take the rim, and I will pressure wash it to clean it. Then I will strip it in a liquid stripper. After it's in there for 20-30 minutes, I pull it out, I pressure wash everything off of it, keep it clean. Now, this is where the iron phosphate comments start coming in. Some people like the iron phosphate, some people love it, some people agree with it. It's all on your application. I'm not going to be no expert on iron phosphate. I'm going to say I do use it on some things, I don't use it on others. I'm not going to really tell you where I do it, not because I don't know, it's because I still feel like there's 1,000 things out there telling you when to use it, when not to use it. So you can use it directly after you pressure wash and clean everything off, let it sit on there for a little bit. You can dilute it, you can heat it up, you can put it in a steam cleaner, there's 1,000 comments out there, and I still don't think there's a wrong way to put it on there, personally. Columbia Coatings actually has a thing that they send you on how they recommend you to do it, but I hear people on the powder coating forums say, don't do it that way. So as far as iron phosphate, I'm going to just move on. So after that, I usually outgas my product. 500 degrees, usually 100 degrees over what you can do 50 degrees for 30 minutes. You can do 100 degrees for 20 minutes, just as long as you try to bake anything that's in that metal out prior to the 400 degrees or 385 or 375 that your powder calls for, because you want to get it to the top. Now, this is another thing. When they bring it out, some people believe acetone right down in there. They believe wipe that chemical off of there. Some people don't. Some people put it right in the sandblaster and they feel like if they etch it and they sandblast it, it comes off. I've done it both ways. I've not seen a big, huge up and down difference. So that's another whole nother argument that people are having out there. So I sandblast my stuff, wipe it down, not with any chemicals, just air, blow it off, don't touch it ever again. After you outgas it with your fingers, your grease gets on it. And at that point in time, I either powder it with a primer, depending on what the metal is, sometimes zinc, sometimes epoxy, and then you can get different colors. So let's say you want a fluorescent top color. If you can get away with using a white epoxy base or a white primer and it looks good, by all means do it. If not, use the primer for a filler. You can sand it after, you can take some imperfections off of it. A lot of people like to do, if we have curb rash, they like to do all these different fillers. I take it to a local TIG guy. I just charge it, because then you don't ever have to have the customer come back and tell you, hey, your shit fell off. No, it was TIG. It's welded on there. So that's my go route. Imperfections and minor things, I sand them out, but that's all before I outgas and sandblast. So back to when it comes out of the blaster, prime it, base coat it, whatever you want to do. If you start having gassing problems, you might have to start the process over again with outgas primer. I learned that the hard way too. And you don't really know unless you pull it out of the rim. If you pull it out of the oven, the rim, or whatever piece of metal you're working with, and it's gassing off in your face, you might have to put it in there longer. Or you may never get the gas out. And they make a great primer for that called outgas primer. Like I said, Columbia Coatings is great, Prismatic is great. Everybody likes these tie guards and all these other companies, which is great. But a lot of times you need an account. A lot of times they won't sell you 5 pounds, 2 pounds, 3 pounds. And if you're a small guy like me, that's all I need. So there's no reason for 44 pounds of powder when I'm not going to use it. So anyway, like I said, like my page, the whole 9 yards. And then, like I said, after you do all that, you basically just follow the directions of the powder. And all my other steps are in my links. You can be more than happy to take a look at everything else if you have any questions. I know I've been talking a lot, not showing anything, but I just wanted to do this quick video and just say, hey, there's some handy things out there, some nice things out there. I suggest, I'm a Columbia Coatings guy because they're local, they're United States. I know they might use a lot of parts from other places, but their tech support is great. They got a 3-year warranty or 2-year warranty on this thing. No questions asked, no problems. So that's my suggestion. If you want to buy something from overseas, take that gamble. Might be great, price might be good, and you might get away with it. And by all means, I'm the same guy. Better price, better everything, I'll take it. But in the long run, sometimes if you're going to keep it forever, it's better to do it right. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you get anything out of this, great. If you don't, I apologize for wasting your time. If not, as always, stay safe. Have any problems, any questions, please hit me up. I'm here to help out. Yeah, thanks for watching Columbia Coatings. Have yourself a good Christmas or holiday or whatever you're into. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good day. See you next time.